Hello everyone, Manface is here, and today we're doing something a little different. So what I want to do is try to show everyone how to make a custom crafting station. Now this is just basically the information for the crafting station, but it doesn't go into any of the textures and changing the looks of the station. You're just changing the function of the station. Okay, now this is some pretty advanced stuff, so if you don't know how to get to where I am right now, there's plenty of videos on how to open the creation kit, how to maneuver in it, how to use it. But this is just kind of high level stuff because I couldn't find any information on it. I ended up just having to really read and dig and look into other mods. So thank you Cross Cybernetics, because you really helped me out with the way that you put things together. It was a very impressive mod. I highly recommend that, just on the simple fact of what was accomplished in the creation kit. Okay, done rambling. So the first thing you need to do is get your bench. Now I've done this already, but I'm going to go ahead and do it over again. So we want to find all of the workbenches. If you don't know, you can hit form type and organize them. Okay, so workbenches are considered furniture. And what we want to do is we want to make a custom clothing. You see, I've already made it once, but we're going to go through the steps again. It's Workbench Clothing ACC. Now how I did that is I went to the armor station. Alright, so you come to the Workbench armor station, and we're just going to open it up to see what it looks like. And here you go, it's the workbench. You see, you have your armor workbench back here. What this means is that this is the player tracking, so this is where your character will enter the animation, and this is where they will be during the animation. Do know that only workbenches have this small camera icon right here. I haven't been able to figure out how to manipulate that. Otherwise, you could do a lot more. So we're pretty much going to be stuck using this workbench. So as always, when you're doing things like this, you want to make sure not to save over the original item, because that could cause problems later in game. So you just want to duplicate, ignore the warnings. Okay, and here's our workbench. So when we open it up, it's pretty much the same thing that we just looked at. So now we need to change a few things. Namely, we need to change the ID. So we're going to call it Workbench Tester. Okay, so what you need to know is that smithing armors is considered augmenting gear, but it's not considered crafting gear. Alchemy seems to work for me, so I tend to just put it on alchemy. Good to go. Okay, so all of this pretty much stays the same. Now, if you wanted a different workbench, you could come here and find you one and copy and paste its location in there. I've done that a little later with another mod, but that's some high level stuff. We want to keep it simple. Okay, so you want to come over here to your editor IDs. Now you see how it has workbench armor? What this tells the game is that this workbench is meant for armor recipes. So only thing that you can do at these workbenches is augment your armor. So we want to go ahead and delete that. And again, ignore the warnings. Okay, now we want to go ahead and give it a name. So again, Workbench Tester. Okay, now we're not done with this, but we just needed to go ahead and get our primary thing set up. So now you need to tell the game that it is a workbench, and you're going to do that with keywords. Now, do know that I believe a lot of this is not going to make any sense to a lot of people, because it always sounds Greek to me when I'm researching it. So what you want to focus on is knowing that it works and not so much of how it works. Okay, so you see I have a couple of here. but I'm going to go ahead and show you what it is. So this honestly doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you call it. What does matter is that it's a dialogue subtype. All of this always is the same every time you open up a keyword, but dialogue subtype is super important. So what we're going to do, we're just going to duplicate something else. Okay, well, we got lucky. It was a dialogue subtype. And then we'll X that out and we'll call it AOT tester. Okay, so this is the first time we've saved something. So what you want to do is you don't want to create a new form unless you didn't duplicate the item. So no, yes, good go. Okay, so we got AOT tester here. Now we have to come up here and go add okay, and then add the AOT tester. I know it's still not sounding too official, I understand that, but we're gonna hit OK, and here we have it again. So it'll be no and yes. Okay, so now we have our workbench, and we've told the game that it's a tester workbench. Let's just put it like that. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to get a crafting recipe for your workbench. Otherwise, it's a real pain to get it into the game. Even placing it doesn't really work too well. Okay, so what we're looking for is constructible objects. All right, so what we had to do is find the original armor bench. When I found it, I went on ahead and I duplicated it to the copy. Now we want to edit the copy. Okay, now a lot of this stuff can stay the same. Basically, all you really want to change is its form ID. That way it doesn't overwrite another file. Okay, now this tells it that it can be in the recipe filter crafting, so where all the other crafting machines are, that's where it'll end up. This is its recipe, and you can change it by just adding new items to it, but we're not going to go into that. This has perks, so you can actually give it conditions by adding new conditions, but we're not going to go into that. And you can delete that, it's fine, does not matter. Okay, what is important is that we come over here and we type in the test. Okay, see, we got workbench tester. Okay, so what this is saying is that we're going to create the workbench tester with these materials at this workshop. And then you hit OK, no, yes. Okay, so is everyone still with me? Okay, so now we can craft our workbench. Now we need to tell it to have a custom recipe filter, and we need to put a recipe into the filter. Okay, all right, so we're not going to do anything too sophisticated, but what I usually do when I want to start a crafting recipe is I'll look up Psycho. I don't know, it just works for me. And if we open it up, you'll see it's the recipe for Psycho. Workbench Chem Lab, recipe drug. This puts it in the drug filter. So now we need a filter. So what we want to do is we want to get a keyword, doesn't matter which one, and we want to duplicate it. All right, and we're going to call it yummy. Well, we need to call it tester yum. Okay. And what it is we're going to come down here, we're going to put recipe filter, and then we're going to put yummy. Okay. And then no, yes. All right. So now we have our keyword to tell it the category of what it would be in. Now we want to go to the Psycho. We want to duplicate the Psycho. Come inside. And what I want to do is I'm just going to put in a crafting recipe for a sweet roll. Okay, so what we want to do is we want workbench. So this is where our workbench keyword comes in. Our AOT tester, our dialog sub box. Okay, so we put that there. Now we want to change this one. We want to add a new one. Now we just put in one. Okay, we got tester yum. So we're going to put tester yum here and we're going to delete that one. So we're going to go ahead and delete, 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 and delete. Okay, so we want to come here. You can come to the filter. This helps out a lot. Okay, and we're going to put in a sweet roll. Now I'm going to go ahead and show people how this works. What I want to do is I want to get some razor. I want some razor grain. And then I want to put two razor grain, and I guess that's fine. That'll work. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit the OK button because we have it selected to the workbench, and we have it in its own category. So it'll be no, yes. Okay, and then remember to save often. So at this point, we should have our workbench. So I'll meet you guys in game. Alright guys, we're in game. Sorry about the noise. We're at the Yao Guai farm, and those guys just go ham. Okay, so this is something else I made, but there it is, armor tester. Okay, so let's plop it down.
You say something?
Nah, but let me go ahead and make you a couple. Yeah, so if you come into the yummy category, remember we did the yummy category, you can make sweet rolls. And we had just enough razor grain. So I know this was some high level stuff and it could be confusing, so just watch the video a couple of times and then ask me some questions, but it's pretty much straightforward from here. Anyways, thanks for watching everyone. Like, share, and subscribe, and good luck with your mods. Take care.